So I'll draw it first. I'm just doing this on the fly, people. Okay? This is what I mean. Y'all gonna wish that I hired an editor by the time it's all said and done, in which I finish this art. We're gonna call it art. You see my grades right there. 2025, year transparency. Come with me, pray with me.
Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Pham the Fabulous.
Okay, friends, so it is now after work, and let's see. They have dried. They look amazing. Let me just make sure my camera is on the right angle because it's looking a little wobbly here. All right. See what I mean by no fabulous editing we got? All right, so that's how it dried. It's a very soft, almost like foam-like texture. So I'm anxious to see what it'll look like once we put the paint on it. Here's this one. Remember, I did 4. I did 3 off camera and 1 on because goodness knows, forgot to turn the camera on. That's all of that type of stuff you guys would have never got if I was trying to get it all edited right. Okay, and then last but not least, I showed this one to Josh. He loved this little pattern here. He said it looks like tire marks, and of course that's right up his alley. So who knows? This might be something he might want to do. Well, he did say he'd like something like that on his wall, so I'm going to force him to do some. Okay, so now I just want to make sure I reiterate, you want to make sure that you let it dry so that you don't have layers upon layers of wetness. Now, I've got this paintbrush here. It's a number 1. I should be able to spread relatively well with that. And then I've picked out a few paints. I'm not sure which ones I want to use, but I definitely want to use the thick body acrylics. Although it probably would be better if I just thinned it out a little bit. But anyways, you know. And then I think I want to accent with this. This looks pretty orange on camera, but it is more like a copper color. I'm not going to do too much with it. And then I've got a basic white. So I'm thinking, do I want to go with white? I do have something that's like an off-white, but I'm going to use white for today. Just to create, to cover the canvas for the most part. So I've shaken this up. I usually don't use, the tip, the top. It's because it's always clogged or got something going on. I should have got a paper towel too, but you know, I got one on my desk that'll work. See, this is what I'm talking about. Always clogged. So I don't want to make a mess on top of the canvases. All right, so for those of you who are still following along, I appreciate you for sticking in here thus far. All right, so let's get a little bit going here. I'm going to cover the whole thing with white, and I'm going to make it a very thin coat so it can dry quickly. Hopefully it won't settle into the cracks of the texture. Oh God, it looks like it's creating its own texture. This is some really cheap paint here, but it's acrylic paint, so that'll help coat the canvas. You can also use gesso if that's something you have. Now, if I was smart, I would have went around the edges first. Nobody accused me of being a genius. Want to get that. And then of course I'll bring the paints along to the edges. I'm not going to make them ornate or who knows what I'll do. We shall see. So I'm just trying to get this as thin as possible and stretch this paint on over the rest of this. Now, while I'm doing this, I do have a load of clothes in the washing machine. So I'm going to pause this for a second in a moment and go put some fabric softener in because I like my clothes to smell good. I do. And then I'll come right back. And when I come back, I'll put white on the rest of them, and then I'll turn the camera back on so we can finish with the fantasticness of this little art process. Now, I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to add any additional media to this. I'm gonna figure that out as I go. I don't think we need to know that right away, but if I do, it'll probably be something like music sheets, or maybe something from the paper pad that I showed you guys a little while ago, or in the last video. I said a little while ago. It was the last video. All right, let me move that out of the way so I can get more space to work with. And then let me just bring that little box over here and set this on top of there. Y'all won't be able to see it, but you'll know it's there. It's in close proximity. All right, so give me a second. I'll be back to work. What? Oh, hold on a second. I don't want this to, let me go ahead and work the rest of this in here. I won't be too long. And then I'll need to get some paper towels, because who did I think I was fooling, right? Let me go wash my hands before I get this all over the laundry room. You like my ring? Ooh. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put those, the laundry detergent in the, oh geez, in the wash, the wash. And then I just turned the washer off because you got to let it marinate, you know? You got to let the laundry detergent or the fabric softener soak into the clothes. When you get a certain age, everything needs to soak. You need to soak in the bathtub. Your meat need to soak in the seasoning. Okay, everything requires a soaking. So yeah, I just went on ahead, did that, and then I just turned it off. I like Suavitel. Oops, there we go. Let's get that off of there. It's not cute. Now, I don't wash my hands about 17 different times in the process of having that camera off. Going over to, well, I had to wash my hands to get this paint off to put the clothes in put the laundry detergent in the clothes. I didn't want to happen to put acrylic paint down in the clothes. Good Lord, can you imagine? Like, you're cleaning your clothes, but you're also messing your clothes up. That's really not how you do it. But yeah, so we're back here. I am just putting on the rest of this. Now, what I think I'm gonna do, okay, simply because it's only so much as y'all need to see, I think I'm gonna do one of the panels, and then I will show you all three in an update, you know, like a little project share or something like that, a real quick pop on, pop off. But I do want to do one, and perhaps that'll be the one that we give away. We'll just play it by ear, folks. I can't plan everything. I really can't plan much at this point. This paint is so grossly cheap. I probably should have poured it into something else. That might have would have helped. Could have. And considering the fact that there's texture all over this, you think I wouldn't be so, you know, pressed to have it perfect. It's not that I'm trying to make it perfect. I just don't. I didn't want those extra bumpy pieces of paint on there. I wasn't going for that. But I guess I might just need to embrace the imperfection of it and stop fiddling with this so it can actually get done. That might help. What say you? Put it in the comments. Stop fussing and move on with my life and my art, or spend a little time, perfect that thing, which is usually what ends up happening in previous sessions, and things never end up getting done. It never comes to full completion because I'm too busy perfecting the thing. And who's got time for perfection? God, not me. All right. So we got the next panel good to go. I'm going to have to pull out my silicone mat, and then I'll be back with the rest of these. I think I said that the last time, right? Didn't I say I'll come back on with the rest of these done? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Sheesh. Girl, stick with your word. All right, so let me move this out the way. This has dried, and I think I'm gonna use this one because it has the less busiest pattern or texture to it, and because I am dying to use this new paper that I got. Now the question that I have for myself is whether I should, and I think I'm going to go ahead and lay down this pink that I might not do. I think I might do something like that. We'll see. We will see. Let me go ahead and lay down this pink. Some of this pink. It will be the background. And then I'm going to take some strips of this and work it in here. Yeah. We'll figure that out as we go. Okay. Here we go with this foolishness. And this is why I don't really care for this paint is great for your journals, for your art journals, but for like canvas, if you're trying to get a good, consistent, thick flow, this might not be the paint for you. Okay, so this is working. This is working. I'm going to go right over the texture. Let me coat that really well. And let me go off the edge real quick with some of the... Now, whether or not all of this sits at... whether or not it all remains this color, or whether I go back over it with something else, we don't know. We don't know. We are not going to speculate that at this moment. But I think I'm going to go over the bulk of this with this. And I think this is kind of why people have multiple panels, canvases going at one time. Because as you're working on one, the other's drying. And you can get, you know, you can get a whole set out of one session. So keep that in mind when you intend to. Now, if you only have one canvas, pull out your mixed media journal or your art journal, and that way you can use whatever leftover paint or simultaneously work in the both of them if that's something you think you might be capable of. Now, I've done it, but what I don't do is create an entire journal entry page or mixed media page while I'm doing something else. I'm not that gifted. I'm sure that there are those who are. So I'm gonna leave this like this. Let's see. Okay. I think that's well coated. We're missing a little bit here. Just a little bit. I want to make sure all the areas have the paint. Okay. Might need a little bit more to go back over this. All right. I've gone over the entire texture. I'll probably use a different texture on different paint on that texture over there. I think I'm gonna back up off this one because this is a little cool, and I'm going for a warm, not necessarily pastel, but a warm color. Okay. That's what I'm doing. All right. Let me go ahead and finish with the pink. Excuse me, the rose. What is it? Cameo pink. Yeah. You go ahead and finish with that, and then hopefully this will be dry at the top. If it's not, I'll just turn the camera off and finish up on the laundry and come on back because it's Friday and I don't have to do no homework. So I'm just trying to get all the fun in while I can. And I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves as well. For those of you who are going back to school, like me, you know, I wish you all of the success, all the determination, all the discipline your studies will require. It's definitely not for the weak. It might not even be for the strong either. It's definitely for those who are, my sister, you know, she soaks up knowledge, you know, like air. So a class is nothing to her. It's a breeze for her. She enjoys, well, she was a teacher for, I think, 20 years. So yeah, it would stand to reason. Me, I have always been in the arts, the creative, you know, if it requires me to think outside the box, come up with my own way to make it happen, you improvise, I'm all for it. If it's requiring straight mathematical equations and formulas and you got to do it by the book, I'm not always that interested. Ooh, I just took some off. Well, I gotta let that dry before I go back in. But what I can do, I can go ahead and lay some strips of this down. So I think what I want to do, I gotta be careful of how I tear it, because the direction in which you tear is going to determine, yeah, it's going to determine whether or not you get white or whether you get a straight edge, or you know what I'm saying. All right, so I think what I want, I'm going to cover that up. And right out the gate, I did it wrong. Because I'm left-handed, and it's such a chore. It is such a chore trying to do things that require you to think right-handed-ish. That'll be cute. Okay, so we are covering this up like so. I'm going to go ahead and lay that down while it's wet. And I'll likely have another layer of paint come on top of that. So fear not. And at the end, this will all be, not gessoed, but I'll put a matte medium over the top of all of this. I want a little piece coming here and a piece down at the bottom. I like to do things in threes. If I can just tear it the right way, I might be all right. All right, girl, it's a bit much. She's doing a bit much here. Okay. She's already messing up the paint job. Fear not. It'll be fine. It will be fine. We're not done. So. And this is acrylic paint, so it's just basically like glue. Basically. Not quite. probably do need something underneath that to catch that. So let me wet that a little bit with the paint. That's wet. I didn't mean wet. I could wait for this to dry. Let me hit this real quick with the heat gun, and then that'll give me the opportunity to think a little more. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've hit it with the heat gun, and I'm gonna make sure that I adhere the parts that are lifting up with a little bit of acrylic matte medium and go around the edges, just to ensure that they're sealed properly before I go on with the next set of paint. Now, I want to bring to your attention, while I remember, while I was doing all that, when I take a break and I'm doing something off camera here, I'm actually watching YouTube. Okay? And the reason why I'm using matte medium as opposed to glue, you use whatever you got, is because it definitely has, it's acrylic, so it works well with acrylic paints. That's it. That's all. Nothing too dangerous there. Nothing too fun and fanciful. Now, coming up this month, I do have a couple of projects that I would like to work on. I do have my house journal that is yet to be completed that I definitely want to finish up on, and I have, well, a couple of things I'll be doing off camera, but for the most part, I'll share with y'all what I'm doing here. I'll share. Just had to cut a little bit of that off. Hopefully it won't look too crazy around the side. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be good. That will be going more like that. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's get her going. Where's the, okay. All right, so much for being organized. I'm telling y'all gonna wish that I was doing some whole bunch of editing. By the time it's all said and done, you're gonna be like, honey, hire an editor, because the rambling and the randomness and the fumbling, it's becoming all too much. And to that I'll say, you are correct. You are right. And I do apologize that you'd have to endure. But I thank you anyhow for sticking around. I do. Here we go. All right. I don't want to mess around with it too much because I'm likely to pull or tear or something. You know, all of the things that we're not trying to do. And this is good if you want to go back over, the matte medium. This is Daler Rowney, and I got that off of Walmart a few years ago. It's excellent stuff. So, and for a wonderful price. You won't break the bank. Wow. And I bought it in store, not online. That does make a difference. That means you'll be able to find it as often as you need it. From one store to the next. In your art supply section, of course. Okay, now you can also use napkins doing this, so keep that in mind. Let me see if it's given any type of a finish to this. All right, enough fussing. Let's move on to the next color. I hope y'all ain't got no place to be. I'll try and speed up some of this as we go. All right, let me cap this pink because I'll probably end up using that again. But for now, we're going to slide into some of this turquoise. I've been dying, I say. Oop, that might have been too much. Might have been. Not for certain. I could have washed this brush off a long time ago and been ready. It's not getting edited out, so, talk amongst yourselves. Also, I do have this new light ring phone holder setup. I'm not really happy with it because it wobbles a little bit, but, I had another one. This is bright. This is gonna have to be in real small doses because that is, it's cute, but it's definitely, it can be a bit overpowering. It definitely can, and I don't want to do too much on here. But I do typically go in threes, so. And then I need I need a little bit over here on this side, but it's gonna have to get some coverage. I'm gonna have to bring some white in, and that hopefully that metallic will do what it needs to do. Let me go off to the side. That's the, I don't know who's getting this. Let me know in the comments if this is already, if these colors are working for you, because they are definitely, God bless them, they are definitely special, to say the very least, at this point. Okay, I think we got what we need here. I may have to go back over some of this with the same color. No, maybe not. It kind of gives you a southwestern vibe, or is it just me? Is it just me? Okay. Leave me out there. Leave me hanging. Not an issue. I wanted to leave the texture kind of sitting by itself. I think what I want to do next might be to bring some white in. Kind of tone this down a little bit. Yeah. And where is my journal? I got one up here somewhere, because this paint is too expensive for me to just leave willy-nilly. Where is it? I thought I had one. I know I have one. Let me pause y'all for a second. Found her. Okay, let's see what I got. Thank you, but I'm gonna have to make these colors they were already. Okay, that works. I had to do something with that. That color was horrific. Okay. Whatever works for us. If y'all saw this craft space, this art studio, the Lovely Lab, in all of its glory, you would snicker to yourself. See what I mean? How I say when I say it's wobbly. All right. So I'm gonna cap this for a second, and then I'm gonna go pull out the white, and then I'll probably bring the pink back out, and then last I'll touch with the metallic. That's what we'll do. We'll touch off with the metallic. Do I want to use that? Do I want to use that, or do I want this might get lost in the shuffle. We'll see. We shall see. All right, let's see what we can do with the white. Let's see what the white gives us. Not that we didn't just come from white, right? Okay. We don't know how this is supposed to go. No one said that there was a format to this. And if they did, they were lying. Do you hear me? They were lying. I probably at this point should use a different brush so that I can get a different brush stroke. Yeah. Let me use, I've got, I don't want to use my watercolor brushes, but I'll just use her. This is a number 10 round. Okay, that's good. I'm feeling good about that. Somebody's saying, I have no idea why. But you know what? Let me, oh geez, that was, I did not intend to do that. Let me go on ahead and cover up. See, this is how you know you can stop at any point, you know. No one's telling you that you got to keep going with the thing. But for some reason, you see extra paint and your mind says, no, keep going. It won't get messed up. And your mind is deceiving you. And you know it. Okay, I like that. For now. Yeah. That works for me. Now we still have to add our metallic in here to give it a little bit of a, you know, a glitzy feel. I gotta merge the two. No, I don't. But I'm going to. I think maybe perhaps the brown might have came from the paper. It's a possibility. It's a possibility, yeah. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and 3. Yep. Okay, we're going to let her rest for a bit because she's exhausted with my picking and probing. And for good reason. Because I'm working her to death. To death. Not a break. She hasn't had a break since I picked up the paintbrush. You know, if there's any sympathy that should go out, it should be towards this lovely piece that we are lovingly creating together. All right, we'll blend that out. You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Because this girl is not. She's doing neither of the two. Neither. Okay, let her rest. All right, I'm going to take a break, start that wash machine back up, see if the boy needs something to eat. I myself could use a little bit. I think I've got a pizza. I think I might even turn the oven on. Anyways, I'll be back. It might be the next day. It might be next month. I'll be back. Okay? I didn't sign up for all of that. But here we are. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I started the canvas, where I have taken one of these panels with a wonderful texture. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? There we go. There we go. There's the texture. If we could just cover me up a little bit, you can see. All right. Now, bring it like that. Oh, there we go. All right. I told you I would be trying to connect with you face to face a little bit more often in the new year. So we've got a couple of the panels, right? And I have gone ahead and I'm 70% done with the one that I started with the paint. So let me bring that up for you. Now I've added some metallic paint to that. I'm going to do an overhead shot as well. And then I'm going to bring you on when I finish up the last piece, which actually is going to be a figure. I'm going to attempt to put a figure on here. Now, I think what I want to do, I think I want to cut out, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. It's just going to be easier. I'm going to cut out pattern paper, some form of pattern paper, in the shape that I want it in. And that way it'll serve as a blueprint or a background. And I can just paint on top of it, because otherwise I'll be looking to try and create the shape from scratch. So I'll draw it first. I'm just doing this on the fly, people. Okay? This is what I mean. Y'all gonna wish that I hired an editor by the time it's all said and done. So I'm gonna sketch a shape real quick. It's gonna be nothing major. You know, you ain't gonna get no hourglass woman. Okay? You're gonna get a shape with a head that will indicate it's a human. It's a human. Yeah, that's the extent of it. And then once I have the sketch, once I have it sketched, I will cut that out, and you'll see. You'll see. I'm gonna bring y'all along. So at this point, I'm gonna do a quick overhead shot, and then I am going to wrap up this video, just so that, because it's already like an hour in, and I am gonna have to edit it, otherwise some of y'all gonna be untuned out. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do an overhead shot real quick. Y'all will see that, and then in the next video I will show the process in which I finish this art. We're gonna call it art. Did you see my grades right there? 2025, the year of transparency. Come with me, gray with me. Anyways, listen, until we are back here, let me do the overhead real quick. Okay, so this is what we're working with, my good and fine people. All right, I love the way that this turned out. Now, I probably got a little heavy-handed on this, but we're going to make this work, trust me, because I believe that what I want to do here at this point is, there we go. I think I want to add a word here, but I'll know once I put the lady down here. Okay, bring that up a little bit. Once I put the lady down here, I might be able to put some type of a raised wording. I will know once I put the lady down and I scour through my art supplies to see what I have, because at this point I don't know. But again, you know, we are doing this on the fly. We are experimenting, exploring, and getting to a new place in our art journey. Okay, now granted, this might not be new to some of y'all, but it's definitely a new process for me. So, and I'm enjoying it. Now, with all that being said, my friends, all that fumbling, until we are back here together on Patreon and YouTube, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafty. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community, and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.